we just finished watching Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage.
Like we promised.
Yes, like we promised we would eventually.
It was a rainy Sunday.
Rainy Sunday. Which I was going to say is appropriate because the climax takes place at like a church or cathedral, but
Yeah.
I don't think that's a good comparison.
No.
Basically more of the same
Yes.
is what... But no, in seriousness, what I wanted to say is a lot of people don't like this movie or don't like it as a sequel.
Why?
I don't know. I guess if you're like a big comic book fan, there's
There's
like things you'd find disappointing, like how they use the characters. But like personally, I mean, I'm a comic book fan, but I'm not that huge. I don't know a lot about the Venom characters or lore. But personally, I like the movie.
Me too. I laughed a lot.
I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed the movie. I laughed. It was entertaining. I don't know why people don't like it.
Me neither.
I liked it.
Yeah, I liked this. I think it was
Funny.
I think it was funny. It was a fun sequel. There were some flaws that we're gonna get to, but
Right.
overall, I think it was a decent movie. I wouldn't say it's a good movie, but it was decent.
Yeah, it's a movie you could watch at home.
Yeah, it's like a movie. I mean, I don't think it's like a movie you would suggest someone go pay money in a theater to watch, but definitely something like when it becomes available on like DirecTV or like a streaming service, you can watch it because it's a fun movie to have on.
Yeah, you laugh a lot.
Yeah. Where do you want to start?
The beginning.
Yeah, of course that makes sense. But like,
Okay, well, also, what I like is you see a little bit of more of a lot of the same, but also you get introduced to superpower.
no, the villain.
The girl.
They're like, I think they're like three villains.
Exactly.
They're three antagonists, but I think the main villain is Carnage,
Exactly.
who is kind of like Venom's kid, but that's not.
It is.
Because he's technically, because he's from
his blood.
So
Yeah. So technically he's from
it's his
kid.
It's his
but
son.
a mean kid.
It's mean, like.
Yeah. Because the guy that he comes out of,
Yes.
he's mean.
Yeah, that could be where it comes from. But he takes. Okay, so the movie. So the three main antagonists is Carnage, obviously, and then you have the two other antagonists. One played by Woody Harrelson, who they got rid of that weird wig. Remember how in the first Venom, when you saw him in the post-credits scene, he had like that curly hair?
Yeah.
It's just gone in that movie.
I know. I was gonna tell you that because in the
Like
preview.
were you gonna say something like his hair looks different?
Yeah, because remember in the preview we saw like curly hair, but now when you get to the movie.
Yeah. But I mean, did you want them to keep it though?
No.
Would you have taken him seriously if he had that hair?
No, I don't think so. I think they realized
it was a good thing they changed it.
Yeah, I agree.
So yeah, he's one of the main antagonists, and his girlfriend, I guess is what you'd call her. They're together.
Love.
They're in love.
They're in love since they were little.
Yes.
But she has superpowers.
Yeah, she has superpowers where she screams, she can release like a sonic wave or something.
Right. She's one of those that you see
Maybe
in X-Men. A mutant.
Mutant. She maybe.
A mutant.
But they don't ever say. They say the word mutation, but I don't think they ever
really
outright say X-Men. They don't.
No.
They don't explore that. It's just like name drop mutant, and then like it's never brought up again.
Right. I guess they're connecting.
I guess, or maybe like they couldn't use it because at the time I think X-Men was still owned by Fox, and it's like the whole rights thing that's just so convoluted with Marvel.
Okay, maybe that's why. I'm not sure, but well, she's a mutant.
Yes, she's clearly a mutant. They've been in love, and then they get separated.
Right.
And okay, can I just say they're like kind of fun to watch together, their whole relationship. I mean, they're crazy, but it's like a fun crazy.
Yeah.
When they're together.
Right.
Especially like that whole scene where he breaks her out. I think that was a fun scene of just like them destroying everything. Like,
Because of their love.
yeah,
Right.
like they're crazy, but they're like crazy together, and it's like kind of fun.
Right. And then she also makes sense on him. You know, makes him
Like, yeah, because like
that Carnage can't take over. You know, they're not compatible because
she's like they try to. What I appreciate, this movie tried to make the villain have more depth than the first one did. With like, I don't even remember the guy's name from the first movie. This corporate guy. I don't remember his name.
I don't remember.
He wasn't much. He didn't have much to him.
No.
But here they try to give the villains more, which is a good thing because like you come out with them being slightly more memorable.
Exactly.
Yeah, but so, but there's that whole scene where like he after he like he finds out he has Carnage, he goes to break her out, and it's like this whole scene of like them, like she's driving the car excitedly, even if she's never driven before, and it's like, and Carnage just sort of like
right,
planes and stuff, like helicopters, and it's like a fun scene to watch. And you also find out how her powers can affect Carnage.
That's what I was gonna say. That's why they never come compatible 100%.
Yeah.
Because he's in love with her, but her powers
is the weakness to him.
Right.
It's an interesting
analogy.
Yeah.
Right. Because sometimes, like, I think what he says is like sometimes love could be a weakness.
Yeah, well, I think that's what the whole movie was trying to do. Like, that was a theme throughout the movie.
Right.
Also, you can tell, like, how crazy they are. Because when he breaks her out and she sees the Carnage for the first time, she says, "I'm so hot."
I know, she's, like, so crazy.
They're both crazy. That's the fun. That's the allure.
Yeah.
But yeah, the villain's much better in this movie than the first one.
Agree. Yeah.
More memorable, I feel like.
Yeah, there's like a story behind it.
Yes.
And the other one, it was like, you know.
Yeah.
And this one also broke
Eddie and Venom.
And Venom.
We see more of what their dynamic is like.
Yeah, how they live together, like, you know.
Yeah.
And they also get upset to each other.
They fight. They're kind of
like a couple.
They're a couple, yeah. It's like they're a couple or something. They have like the couple argument where like they break up for a bit, and then Venom goes out and
in like the world
and destroys his motorcycle, like an upset ex-girlfriend who like destroys her boyfriend's car or something. Like he destroys the motorcycle.
Like the dynamic of a relationship.
Yeah. And then like he goes to a nightclub, and that was pretty funny.
Oh my god,
he goes to a nightclub.
That was.
And everyone just thinks he's wearing a costume.
Right.
Thank you, one person, when someone compliments.
Venom. He goes to a nightclub, but then he can't feed.
Yeah,
because he likes people in the nightclub because everybody likes.
No, because he can't find someone who's compatible. And then he possesses Miss Chen, the lady at the store.
And she likes it.
Yeah, I mean, she seems it's fine. And then like when like the ex-girlfriend shows up and she starts like flirting with him to like get him to come with her.
Right.
There's a lot of funny moments in this movie.
Yeah, I found that there's a lot of funny moments. Yeah.
But I feel like they I mean, they did the thing where like they break up for half the movie, which I didn't mind. This movie needed conflict. It needed to like have like I feel like it needed to have like a what was it called? Like a comparison to the two
together,
to the main villain and hero, where it's like they both have these relationships. Like the hero is the one with like the terrible relationship. Like he fights with Venom. He doesn't have his girlfriend anymore. But you have the main antagonist, the villain, and he has his girlfriend, but he doesn't get along with his symbiote well. And that's kind of like their parallels, because at the end, Eddie and Venom do get along and care about each other, but like Carnage.
And that's why they're successful.
Yeah.
Right at the end.
Yeah. I feel like the CGI or the effects on Venom weren't that good this time around? Like, did you feel like they weren't as glossy compared to the first one?
I was gonna comment on that too because
It
on
kind of
the
looked rubbery, right?
right on this one it did.
I don't know if it was like because he was in the movie more, so they didn't have time to make it look better. Because in the first movie, he's not in it that much. Like, you just hear it as voiceover. But here they use him more,
Yeah,
and whenever he transforms, he looks kind of rubbery.
like they doing that rubbery thing. Yeah.
Yeah, like he doesn't look
It's
like,
not like
in
in
the
the
first,
first
where
one.
it looks like glossy and like good. And
Yeah, I noticed that.
I don't know if it was like a.
What do you think?
I don't know if it's because he's in the movie more, so they didn't have time to make it spruce it up, or it was, I don't know if it's like a budget. I don't know. But it just looks different. It doesn't look bad, but it doesn't look like as nice as it did in the first one.
In the first one, no.
If anything, the Carnage one looks slightly better, right?
Yeah.
I feel like
agree.
they spent
The new one.
Yeah, the new one. I feel like they spent it all on that one. Also the I'm trying to think what else we could add. The inclusion of the ex-girlfriend and her new husband, because now they're engaged.
Right. Dan.
Dan, yeah, Anne and Dan.
Anne and Dan.
It's funny because it rhymes. Other than the climax at the end, for most of the movie, they kind of felt unneeded.
Yeah.
Like, there's this scene where she invites him to dinner just to tell him that she got engaged. Like, why would you tell your ex that? The ex that you know still likes you. Is that like a thing you would do in real life? Like, no.
I don't think so, but I think like she's part.
Like, she's part of his life, but and they like, she still feels like she needs to look out for him, but like, I don't know if you do that to your ex, even if you're like friends. Like, just immediately
I don't
go,
think you would.
oh,
but
hey, I'm engaged now.
I don't think
When you're
would.
aware that he still likes you. And then she's like, she wants him to lie about being happy about it. Like, it kind of made me not like her for like a second. I'm like, okay, so you invite him to tell you this when
Like,
you
it makes you
knew
feel she still loves him,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like they have that relationship.
Like, she needs to have a relationship with him to be in these movies still. But it's like still weird how they write it, you know, or like how it's done in the movie.
I don't know. I mean, I think they have her because they
Because they had to show Williams in like a contract or something.
right. So they
It
kind
felt like they needed to do it.
right. So it's not that much, but they have her. They
Yeah.
still have her.
I mean, for the rest of the movie, she's okay. But that one scene I didn't like at the restaurant.
right. But
But it also highlighted how much Venom does care about him, because he can tell he's sad about it. And he tries to cheer him up. And in the following scene, he tries to make him breakfast.
oh, that was so funny.
And everything's just a mess, and he's trying to ignore it.
Yeah. But it shows you like how much they've grown, like with each
growing.
other. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, can we talk about Dan, the MVP? The one who weakened Carnage by setting him on fire?
Oh yeah. That's the part. He kind of helped.
He helped a lot.
By being human, he helped a lot.
Yeah,
because
he set Carnage on fire, and then he went to support Venom when he was like under rubble. Like, you gotta get up, man.
You gotta get up. You gotta do something.
You gotta help your ex-girlfriend, my wife now. Come on.
So they give Dan a little part.
Yeah, they give him a part to do. And there's like a weird little development between Venom and him, because Venom doesn't like him. And then at the end, he starts to like him, or at least accept him.
Right.
But he still kind of makes fun of him. Like, we didn't really need his help. He was more of a hindrance.
Yeah, I know. But it was cute, because, it shows the human part of him. Like, they're growing into each other.
Yeah. And they're becoming, they're becoming used to with this thing having to deal with Eddie's stuff in their lives.
They need each other already.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
What about the detective that sometimes appears and has like the backstory with the girl Shriek?
Well, we didn't know that until...
Yeah, we didn't know that was him, the same guy, but like he's the one that shot her and made her lose an eye, and she deafened him in one ear, I think.
Right. And then we don't really know what happens to him. It's kind of a cliffhanger.
That's a cliffhanger. No, he's alive.
I know, but remember when he opens the eyes?
He's either like kind of blue.
Right.
Like, what was up with that?
I don't know.
Like, there's something.
It's like a cliffhanger.
I don't know if he's like gonna come back in like the third movie, but maybe that'll be resolved at some point.
I'm thinking they left it like that to.
Yeah.
You know?
His character was kind of all over the place. Like, he didn't show up that much in the movie, and when he did, he was just like a jerk for no reason to Eddie.
Right.
Like,
he's like all over the place.
He's all over the place as a character. Like, I feel like the movie wants you to see him as tragic because of like what happened with him in the beginning.
Right.
But he's also just like a jerk all the time.
But we don't realize that he's the one that shots her until like the end. Yeah.
They show you at the beginning, and then they make it clear in the middle of the movie.
Right. But I don't know.
Because he has like that flashback in them.
I don't know what's up with that character though.
I don't know. I feel like they didn't put a lot of thought into his character.
No.
I didn't really care much for him. I wouldn't have cared if he like did die at the end and like.
No, it's not a character that.
It's not a character you need to go back to.
No.
He didn't really need to be in the movie other than like maybe at the beginning and that's it.
So I don't know why they made, I guess they'll have a reason why.
Maybe, or maybe they'll just forget about it.
Who knows?
I honestly probably will.
Yeah, I don't see any importance to his character.
Yeah, me neither. Should we talk about... And then at the end, him and Eddie and Venom go on a romantic vacation. I mean, they go to the beach or something.
Right.
So he can feel the sand in between his toes and the wind in his hair. Is that what he says?
Right. Because Venom wants to turn himself in.
No, Venom wants to be a hero.
Right.
That's like his whole thing, and he wants to be more public, and he wants to also just get to eat humans because that's like one of their big arguments.
And then Eddie tells him
Tom Hardy's character.
He tells him like they're like part of each other already.
Yeah, it's almost like kind of romantic in a weird way because like Venom full on says that he loves him. And also Eddie lets them agree to be called the Lethal Protector, even though I don't think it's going to come up again.
I don't think so. And then...
it was a nice scene.
Yeah, it was.
They're friends.
Yeah.
They've accepted each other as friends. Even though they had that funny fight scene where they had to have like a domestic dispute or something.
Between couples.
Between couples in like the apartment and that one scene.
I liked it.
Venom like punches him in the nose twice with his face. And like... Eddie like throws his helmet at him and like breaks his teeth, but they grow back. But it's like a funny.
Yeah, but then they realize they need each other.
Yeah, they realize that they need each other and they do care about each other.
Exactly.
And then they become friends again and they go to a romantic getaway at the beach.
And then
the post-credit scene. We gotta talk about the post-credit scene.
Okay.
With Spider-Man, Tom Holland.
Well, I don't really know about that. I'm kind of confused.
Okay, so remember when we saw No Way Home? That was a long time ago before I started this channel, I think. Or started doing this stuff. But like when we saw No Way Home, remember how the whole movie was like multiverse because like things were getting ripped apart?
Yeah.
And then we had that post-credit scene where those characters appeared in. This is like the precursor to that and how they got there.
So because maybe in the next one they'll relate. We'll see how.
No, you saw that in No Way Home. I don't know if you remember it well, but they appeared in that and they went back.
Okay.
But this is like that scene was like the precursor to that, and they just get transported there, presumably because of Doctor Strange and Peter's mess up with the spell, and then you see like Tom Holland, Peter Parker, Spider-Man on the screen, and he seems to know him. But the disappointing thing is that that's never actually a thing that gets resolved in the Spider-Man movie. It was just like a one-off joke. So it was like Sony being like, look, we can be connected to the MCU.
We can,
but we probably
won't. But
we could.
We could. Let's leave it as a cliffhanger. Let's see.
Let's see what happens in the future.
And if he does, who knows? Maybe we'll see it.
Yeah. Is there anything else you wanted to add?
No, I think we did good.
Yeah, I think we said everything.
Right.
Okay, so then I guess that's it. That's it for all of the rambling. I guess now we get to score the movie. Do you want to? What score do you give it? A 1 out of 10 from?
6.
You give it a 6 out of 10.
What about you?
I feel like I'll give it a 6 out of 10 too.
Okay.
Like, it's not a great movie, but it's not as bad as I feel like people say it is.
No, it's not as bad.
No.
But you could watch it. It's a movie that you could watch
It's
at home.
definitely
I wouldn't go to the theater.
It's not like a theater-worthy movie.
Right.
Like, is this a movie? Yeah, I could wait till like it comes out on streaming.
Right. And you could watch it. But for a Sunday night, like right now that they're on strike, all those writers, and most of the shows are like on a stop.
Yeah, most shows and movies are just gonna not be made for like a while.
So
Just
it's
watch-
something to watch.
Just watch this.
Right.
Other movies like this.
And then give us your thought about it.
Yeah. So we're both 6 out of 10.
Yes. Agree.
Okay. Oh, you know, one last thing I want to add.
What?
At the end, when they defeat him, instead of like being like, "Oh, you had a sad childhood. We'll spare you," it's like, "No, you still murdered people." Venom's "Fuck this guy," and then he eats his head. And kills him.
That was a good one.
I'm like, thank goodness, because I was like, oh, if you just spare him,
Yeah, that's
I've
true.
been so upset that they did that typical thing. But yeah, that's it. I just wanted to add that real quick. Also, the lady gets a bell falling on her, and I guess that kills her. I don't know, because I thought the bell kind of landed on her on the.
Yeah, that kind of they leave it open. We don't really know whether she's dead or not.
Yeah. I don't know if they're gonna go back to that either. But yeah, that's what I wanted to add real quick. So yeah, we're both 6 out of 10. That's been our thoughts and review on Venom, Let There Be Carnage. What were your thoughts on the movie? Comment down below to tell us. And if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. And hope to see you again. This has been Just Some Fangirl, and we are out.